Hi, everyone. It's Adriana Monique Alvarez, the CEO of Alma Publishing, and I'm very excited to be with Nellah today. Nellah is a psychologist as well as a best-selling author, a lifelong writer, and as we're going to learn today, a past as a stripper. So welcome, Nellah. How are you?
Oh, thank you so much. I am really good, and it's so nice to see you again. I am glad to be here. Thank you.
Yes, this is good. This is fun. So I'm going to make sure that this is streaming everywhere I think it is. And if you'll just take a minute, tell us where in the world you are, and we'll
Yeah, I'm
dive
still here.
in.
Yeah, I kind of disappeared for a moment because I'm also looking if I am streaming it on my socials, which I'm not sure actually about that.
How about I tag you in it and then it should show up.
Yes, please
Okay,
do it. Yes.
let's do that.
You always find a solution. And I love that about you, that you
Thank
have all the solutions. And,
you.
and that's great. That's great.
You know, it was, I don't know, maybe a few years ago, Derek told me, you know what I realize is every day it's just about finding solutions. It doesn't matter what you think you do in your career or what you think you do for a living or in your business. You have to become a really good problem solver and idea factory so that if this doesn't work, this will. So he's always put me in that frame of mind is listen, we can always find something that works. So, and this works. I know that you are also, you're making it work on your end. And I'm really excited for people to hear the backstory because, you're a lifelong writer, and this is actually tapping into some people's biggest dreams and greatest fears. And this is what keeps people from maybe writing their story. And you tell such an incredible story. And I want to start with the book, and I want you to answer for me first. Why did you write this book? Why was this important to you?
Yes, I wrote my book. I think first it was a healing experience. It was just processing what I experienced in the entertainment industry and what I saw. And I just thought it wasn't right. And I just simply, I, 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 I started with no plan at all. And I just took a pen and I wrote. It
Mhm.
just it just came to me, and I wrote like 70 pages, and then I was done, and I just left it in my desk, and that was it. So I think it was part of kind of like trauma processing first, and then once I returned to it after years, then
Mhm.
then I saw actually what it was about. And I
Mhm.
was like, oh damn, this is actually good. you know so like then I rewrote it and again rewrote it and made it much better. And then I was looking for a publisher, and I think that's another thing, because to write, uh, it can be healing, it can be good, it can feel good to get out all these emotions, but then to actually have people read it,
Mm.
have somebody know your story, that's a different thing.
You are right. That is a completely different thing. And that is a place where a lot of people they just freeze in all sorts of emotions and fears. And, I would love to hear what was the biggest concern that you had about actually publishing it and it going from your own process to being public for everyone to read.
Okay, so fear. Well. First of all, my book is about my career as a stripper. So that by itself is something that is hard to reveal. That
Yes.
is really difficult to say. Hey, I was. I was doing this. I was participating in this.
Mhm.
So of course, I had all these like questions about judgment, about how like people would look at me, and then how it's gonna affect me, how it's gonna affect my friends, my family, my career. So all these questions were on stake, and some of them still are, to be honest with you.
Yes.
But I just decided to do it because I think it was just so important to do that, because these stories are usually not shared, and I speak with women in this industry almost every day, and
Mhm.
and if I ask them, will you share your story? It's almost always no. It's it's a no, and I understand that, because they face same questions that I had. But I just simply said to myself, somebody has to do this.
Yes.
Yeah, and I did, and I found a publisher, which I want to say now that I knew that my book would not get published by a commercial publisher. And I got some responses of the type, well, it sounds good, but I can't do it from here. I must be really careful. So I knew that I was looking for a publisher who would be independent, and who would support this idea, and who would actually get it really. And yeah, and then I found you. And I want to thank you right away, because I know that it's not easy to put your name on a book like this. But yeah, I know that you understand it, and you know what it is about. That is not about me anymore. It is not about you. It's about hundreds of people who have this story, and who simply don't speak. Uh, so yeah, I always say about my story. This is not only my story. Uh, Hundreds and hundreds of people have the same story and went through the same thing. They
Yeah.
just don't speak.
They don't speak. You are representing a huge part of the population who just could not get to this place of coming public, sharing it, and dealing with all of the possible consequences. Yeah, I actually was thinking about, I remember the day the email came across, customer support reached out to me and said, listen, this email came in. Do you want to speak to her? And a little voice said, talk to her. And as soon as we got on Zoom, we had a connection. We just knew that we were going to do this together. And that's what it's about. You know, sometimes
Yes,
it's no. This is who we're going to work with. This is we're meant to do this. You brought your piece, I brought my piece. And
yes, and you know, this is also that I found out in this process. I found so many people who supported me, which I didn't think this would happen. Uh, I was I felt isolated. I felt like I am just on my own doing this. No, no. Since I started talking about this, almost every day somebody comes to me
mm,
with like kind of like similar story, or like with support.
mm,
And like these are not only people from the industry. These are family members, politicians. These are people who know somebody who did this, or like who kind of attempted to change things, but it just never happened. You know, because let's be honest, this like business is run by organized crime, and it's really really difficult to like kind of like punish them or like even to stop this, because it's just it's about money, and like there is big money involved. So yeah, so like going back, I had so much support that I
Mm.
was shocked. I was shocked, and it felt so good to like to have people telling me, you are good. We got your back, and like that was just amazing, absolutely amazing.
Mm. Yeah, there's nothing quite like it, and that's the thing, right? When we go out on a limb and we're brave and courageous like you were, yes, there are people that could reject it, but you'll find there's so many more people who will support you, who will stand next to you, who will do whatever they can to help get your story out, and that is what you experienced. Now, when we look at, the industry, because I know that you are now an advocate for women's rights and mental health, why would you say is the biggest reason that people go into this industry?
Well, it's always money.
Mhm.
It's always presented as easy money, and I think that's the biggest mistake. To think that like, oh, I'm just gonna dance for like three months, 6 months, and make some cash, and then I'm gonna get out and do this and this. No, most women get stuck in there.
Yeah.
And they get used to a completely different lifestyle. You get used to simply manipulate men, get your money out of men all the time. Then like to do lap dances, drink alcohol with them, and so on. So then you get really stuck in this a lifestyle, and you stop seeing what is out there.
Mm,
Yeah,
yes.
and then even if you want to get out, you don't know anymore what else you can do. Like what you gonna do now? Just like
Mhm.
go to work as a cashier or something like that? No, no,
Yeah.
with that mentality is impossible.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's really like the the industry changes you
Mm,
very fast into
mm,
something else, and then if you wanna come out, then you have to change again into something what you were before, or something completely different, which is hard, because those behaviors and thinking patterns become you.
mm.
So like,
Yes.
how you now gonna stop it overnight? It just simply doesn't happen.
Yeah. I can see that. It's like a whole identity that is taken on, and it's difficult to break out of.
Yes, and then just go back to this easy money.
Yeah.
These are not easy money. You are basically selling yourself.
Mm,
When you like think about it, you put in your looks, your like body, your soul, your
mm,
personality. You are selling you. You
mm.
become a commodity,
Yeah.
and that's just so damaging to every person. And I think that every person can do better. Everyone can do something else. You don't have to really be sexy or uh, have certain behaviors just to make money.
Mm, mm. Yes. And what would you say, what type of judgment did you experience, or do you see others in this industry experience?
So I would say, and like this is especially with stripping, there is always this thing that, oh, they went into it voluntarily.
Mm,
So like, why should we care? They do it by themselves. or like, oh, they are making money for with this, so like what's wrong? And like this is, it's always first question that I get is, so like how much did you make, or
Mm,
like was the money good, you know? And I understand people want to know, but like nobody asks what do you have to do for that money.
that's
Nobody asked that
awesome.
question. And then it's like you can get into it voluntarily, but then maybe you really didn't know what you were going to do, or like what you signed up for. And
Mm,
then you really feel like you cannot say no, uh, and you don't know how to get out.
yeah.
So yeah, judgment, I think it's, well, I don't judge anybody, first of all. I don't care what you did and who you are. Uh, but I think in this case, it's completely off,
Mm,
because so many women, and me too, I was told that I was going to dance on the stage and take off my clothes, and that was it. No, no, that's not it.
mm,
Then when I came to my first club, I was asked to have drinks with the customers, then like to do lap dances, private dances, and then to go out with them, maybe to like their parties, or like whatever. So uh, the this impression of what it really is not correct.
mm. Yeah.
Yeah, and like because of that, also my book shows how it really is.
Yeah.
Because you have some movies that glorify strippers and like their lives. Please don't fall for that. That's
Mhm.
so not true. That's not true. Yeah,
Mm.
because
That's
all these businesses are not set up for a girl to make money. They are set up for somebody else to make money on the girl.
that's
So
it. That's it right
yeah, yeah.
there.
So even if you make money, you think, oh my gosh, how much you have? No, no, no. You make only a little bit, and I can tell you right now, when I'm in a different industry, that I make now the same money.
Yeah. Mm.
Well, of course, it was cash, which is nice to
Right.
have some cash, Yeah, yeah, there is no taxes, which is a good thing. Yes, that's what I think now. I'm like, oh my gosh, so much money for taxes.
Right.
But
I hear you.
yeah, but still, it's not worth it to
Yeah.
do these jobs. It's just it just destroys you as a person,
Mm.
mentally, emotionally, physically. You become a wreck, complete
Mm.
wreck.
Mm. And I think that's the part, like you said, is never shown in that glamorized version. So I would love for you to share how you got out. How did you get out of this industry?
Yeah. So, well, okay. First of all, I was given drugs, and I think, well, drugs and alcohol go hand in hand with this industry. And then of course people who sell them come to the clubs. So like then like you have all this like underground industry in the club, which is basically like mafia, gangsters, or how do you want to call them? It doesn't matter, it's the same everywhere. uh, but those are people who you are associating with now. So first of all, most girls start using. Alcohol is a must, because that's how the club makes money. uh, Drugs, many girls start using cocaine, in my experience. So it's really like champagne and cocaine. Yes, that's like a cliche, but it's true. Yeah, and then who you associate with. So now you get addicted,
Mm,
and your friends are like gangsters. So you might also witness things that you really don't want to witness.
mm,
And then sometimes it happens when how do we say that nicely, when like shit goes down, then like people go down too, and you might be one of them.
mm.
So yeah, so now you are like addicted, you have fear for your life,
Mhm,
and with that you have men every night touching you, playing these games, wanted some like sexual activities that you don't want to do, or like you might end up doing it because you are just constantly drunk.
mm,
So how can you even like control yourself and your environment? I know so many girls who were raped, who were caught, who were even killed
mm,
in line of this work. And it's so sad that this still exists. And how can a business, like a system like this, exist that really doesn't value human life? Human life is less than money in this
mhm,
business, and it really shouldn't exist. That's what I think.
mhm. Yes, I can see that. Mm.
Thank you.
And I see what you're saying. There's so many layers to this. It's not just one thing. It includes a lot of different aspects that make it even more complex and difficult to manage, to get out of, to create a new life. Mm. Now,
Yes,
would you
I'm
say
sorry.
that most people stay in this, or what have you witnessed in terms of being able to create another life for themselves after being involved in this industry?
Yes, I see women coming out all the time.
Mm.
But like many times they are traumatized for like the rest of their lives.
Mm.
I know one woman. She goes to a psychologist for like 10 years, and she says that she still has these traumas from the club, or like I know I just spoke with a person, and she was like, I want to get married, but I can't with these behaviors that I have. I just cannot get a normal guy,
Mm, yes.
Yeah, so it's really very hard. It's not something that you simply live and buy. You are good. No, no. Most of the time, it really comes with severe traumas. Some women, they keep like hearing the same music from the club. Some when they smell all these like colognes that some like clients have, they would just simply turn them on completely, or yes. So uh, some like even cannot have a intimate relationship. And I'm not talking about sex, because yeah, they can have sex, but like that's the only thing they can do. They
Mhm.
can't have a real connection with the partner. They cannot have intimacy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's really damaging to people. And then there's these thoughts and behaviors. Yeah, because as a stripper, you know how to move, you know how to look, you know how to talk in these ways that like men respond to that. Yeah, and something that you have to stop if you want to be in a different industry or live a different life. But it's really hard. It's very hard.
Mm. Yes, I imagine. It's so ingrained and so learned. So I would love for people to pick up a copy of your book. I have put the link in the description. And
Yes,
you
please
should,
do it.
yeah, from Japan to Switzerland, they're going to really get a peek behind the curtain and see what it's really like. And you are such an incredible writer, so I encourage everyone to pick up their copy. Nellah, what's next for you? What is in your heart to do? What change or impact would you like to have in the world?
Oh, wow. This is okay. I didn't expect this question. So, yeah, well, I write. I love to write. That's my thing. Yeah. So I will definitely continue writing and hopefully publishing more books and more, I don't know what, more things, poems or whatever, whatever comes to me. Yeah, and if I can help so- somebody, uh, even one person who needs it, that that's just amazing. And I, I, I am a psychologist. I am a coach. So I work with people all the time. And yeah, please, if you think we will be a good match, come to me, contact me, and we can talk. Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. Mm. Nellah, thank you so much for your courage, for being willing to be the spokesperson and represent so many, and to go completely through the process of, sharing a very vulnerable journey and allowing yourself to be seen as you are. I know that you have lived many lives in this one life. You had to have, because of what you have went through. So I really honor your journey and all of the times that you kept saying yes to yourself.
Well, thank you so much for having me, and thank you for believing in me before I believed in myself. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Until next time, you can go to Amazon and pick up Nellah's book. Thank you so much for joining us. We shall see you soon. Here is to being true to yourself.
Thank you.
Bye.